subject, the product life cycle, but I really want to spend a little extra time here with this video to go over the 4 stages of the product life cycle. It's a comparison of sales versus time and how a product evolves over that time period and how our marketing might evolve over that time. Stage, which is the introduction stage of the product. Basically, this could be the research and development phase. It could be the phase where the product was just made and just entering the market. Typically, what we see here are early adopters getting the product. These are the people that might know a little bit about the company. They might even be people that are ready to wait in line for 7 hours to get the first iPhone. They might be people that just have special knowledge about the type of product that's coming or just made the market and want to get it right away. Those are the early adopters. We're going to treat them differently as we market to them. This is primarily a word of mouth stage where people hear about it from friends, they hear about it from their industry, and then they go buy the product. There's not a lot of big marketing spend here. Stage, and it's when the product becomes more mainstream. You hear about it more often. You might see it in Costco. You might see it at Best Buy if it's a tech item. If people hear about it, they're more likely to buy it. You might see ads about it. It's more likely that you'll know what it's about or hear about it, and you may have some desire to buy it. These customers are going to be mainstream customers. They're going to be more moved from regular advertising, whether that be digital or regular advertising in general. And at this stage, the product may be seeing rapid growth, as you see in the chart. Sales get to be really fast, they get more employees, they get moving. And it's right before kind of a maturity phase, which is what we're going to talk about next. This phase, a company doesn't have to work so hard in marketing, right? There's a maturity level to it. Their customers are retained, meaning that the customers stick with them. They might buy another version of the product a little later, but there's not a lot of innovation at this time period, right? The product is mature. You would call the customers more like late adopters. These are the people that come along late to the game, but they're the last people to get the fax machine. They're the late comers to cell phones. And this is a phase where it's definitely like well known all over the country, let's say, what this product is and what it does. Whereas in that intro phase, people, you might have mentioned the product, but they didn't know what it was. Product life cycle is decline. And the type of customer is generally what we call the laggers. This is your mom finally getting on Facebook, right? Where everybody's been on it for a while. Young people are actually leaving Facebook, but your mom's finally there, right? This is the last person to get a cell phone, and they were waiting at home all those years just to get their phone call at home on their landline. Now they finally have a cell phone and they hardly know how to use it. And I don't want to give the impression that it's all about old people. There are plenty of young people that might be laggers in a product as well. But in this stage, again, you're not retaining customers in this phase. During the growth and maturity phase, you have high retention rates. People are sticking with your product. If you have a subscription-based product like Netflix, they're in maturity right now, right? People are going to continue working with them, paying their monthly fees. And if they don't innovate, however, they'll start seeing that customer base drop off and you'll see a decline. And that's really what this phase is about. The decline phase is about a lack of innovation. So right up here, where you see the line where it becomes laggers versus late adopters, that could easily just keep on going up or stay straight. It just depends on whether the company innovates or not. And that's where the difference lies. Now, how we market in this decline phase is basically just to keep your base. You're not gaining new customers. You're probably spending a lot of money on retaining what you have. And unless the company innovates, you're not going to get new ones. So the style of marketing here is more towards email marketing. It's more towards maybe giving promotions to them for sticking with you or for getting the other people on board, like bring on a friend and we'll give you 20% off. That kind of promotion might be typical of a company that's in that decline phase. You may not know it's in decline, but it is there. And I would say that Facebook may be in this space right now because their customers are the last ones to go on, and unless they innovate, and some could say they are because they bought Instagram, right, and kind of changed horses in the middle of the rodeo, that they are declining. But we can see this in every product over time, and I'm sure you can come up with other examples, and that's something that we should take a look at.